Can you hear my cat purring? Can you? I take that as a no.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Hello,
He's
everyone's
pretty
Vince.
loud.
Hello, everyone's Vince Swaslangan again, and welcome to another edition of Random Pots
Yeah.
Critiques. I am here with M.D Phantasm. Say hello, M.D.
Hello. I see that I have come back from the dead yet again to record a video with the Necromancer Vince 12.
Indeed, I was gonna do a video with I was gonna do a video with Ian, but he kind of, being a time lord as he is, he kind of has to disappear into the void every now and again. Let's see. I originally posted. This is a story by the name of Hot Chocolate.
So it is. And here I am, just a willing ghoul.
There's a story. Fuck the delay. It's a
Read
story.
the scariest title.
Yeah, there's a story got a name of Hot Chocolate. I don't think it's credited because for some reason, uh, I don't know. If it were up to me, I would have it be somewhat mandatory that people should credit themselves whenever they do this. But whatever. Or at the very least, put anonymous if you don't want to credit yourself.
I know, but why would you want to be credited in the Creepypasta Wiki? It's like being credited in the Raspberry Awards.
I wouldn't go that far. There's some good, like I read one really good story that I actually was going to cover for my channel, and it was one of the it was from a contest apparently, and the whole thing about that. Well, I'll talk about that one in later. I'll probably read it for the channel, and my cat is getting feisty with me now.
Well, you told me yourself she is a kitten, so she will get playful.
I originally
What's
posted
that
this
floating thing on the screen?
author's note. I originally posted this story under my older Wiki profile with a different title, Snow, ellipses, but I decided to repost it on my new page. Okay.
Yeah, Snow is definitely the worst of the two titles there.
It is the worst Final Fantasy character, I'll tell you that much. For the
God
first
damn.
for the first 12 years of my life, I grew up in northern Canada. I had a normal family, a normal house, a normal school, normal town. Uh,
Normal, normal erection, normal girlfriend, normal divorce. Your life is really boring.
there once was a normal man who lived in a normal house. This is like the PC version of the Crooked Man.
Yeah, he, he he had a normal neck and had a normal smile.
Just the most average Joe of all time.
Yeah, it's like Pet Rock.
Oh god, I forgot all about that guy. That was Overanalyz's fetish for a while. Okay, you get.
Yeah, I'll admit I don't know why he was so obsessed with someone as boring as Pet Rock.
I think that's exactly why, because he was so boring that it was actually endearing.
Well, so was Brady. I guess they were made for each other.
Oh, shots fired.
Well, what do you expect? He moved to China.
That's not boring. It's
It is if
suicidal.
you're American.
And according to my grade school education, northern parts of places actually have colder, snowier winters. What? Oh, are you?
What does that have to do with anything?
Is that supposed to imply that he doesn't hasn't been around Canada? Like he hasn't been around a lot of areas, which I understand the sentiment, but I don't know. Like I have in my mind the stereotype that Canada is just a flat plain with one road. If you live in Canada, email me with your inferior Canadian internet before we build the wall and make you pay for it.
We're gonna seclude ourselves with two walls.
No, we're changing our mind on Mexico. We need them to build our shit.
Canada now? Fuck Canada.
Especially,
What?
I'm telling you, those are the ones that are supplying weapons to the Antarcticans.
Oh man, the attack of the killer seals. Can't wait for that invasion.
When I was about 10 years old, I had 5 friends: Evie, Quincy, Samantha, Rhonda, and Jonathan. I just.
Rhoda,
Rhoda.
you
I.
apparently you're like the token black chick, Rhoda.
I thought it was Rhonda for a second. I didn't see that there was no N. So, is that your nickname for being friends with Rodan? Are you friends with a Godzilla monster? I'd like to be
I
friends
like
with
how
Rodan.
I like how most of these names are normal too, and then we get to Rhoda.
I've never heard anyone named Evie or Ivy.
Well,
However you pronounce that.
Evie is a normal name, at least to my knowledge.
Well, it's my favorite Pokemon, but whatever. I specifically remember having a crush on Eevee. She had green eyes, I think.
You don't remember.
I I don't. This is. I'm wondering what kind of tone this is trying to establish. I'm actually interested to see
I
where this is
love this
going.
girl, but I remember nothing about her.
I think I loved her, or maybe that was just gas. I kind of confuse the two every now and again. But seriously, I
I
am.
think I might have been sniffing too much snowplow fuel today.
I am seriously interested in seeing where this is going because I think I'm just trying to see what tone this author is trying to convey at the moment.
Oh wait, he answers himself.
Yes, dazzling green, beautiful green eyes and auburn hair. Is that how you pronounce that?
Auburn? Yeah, I
Auburn.
think so.
Evie had a sister, Jamie. She loved to bake and always made cookies when I came over. Hmm, that sounds
She
delightful.
made the base. She made the best oatmeal raisin cookies in the world. She must
Bullshit!
have really hated you then.
I like oatmeal raisin cookies. Go fuck yourself.
But you know people confuse them with chocolate chip all the damn time, yeah?
Well, that's their fault. It says so on the packaging. They should be able to determine that. And the fact raisins look nothing like chocolate chips.
I mean,
Unless you're
it's
buying the
implied
store
that they're fresh baked.
unless you're buying the store brand fucking chocolate chip cookies, in which case those things aren't really chocolate in them. They're like chocolate flavored chunks of dough.
They're like hamster pellets.
No, that's no. Ew. Oh, you meant like the food, like if they feed hamsters, not hamster shit. Excuse me. Whenever Eve, I just like the awkward silence there. Whenever Evie and I were coloring something, oh, you use the U. No one ever uses the U when coloring, or something.
he, he is clearly Canadian. He is establishing how Canadian he is.
She would give Evie this look and wink at me. I think she knew how much I liked her. Sam and Quincy were twins, and they both had blonde hair. They moved across.
Okay, we're just going to fuck right off with Evie then.
Well, fuck her then. Who gives a shit about Evie? We don't even know what her color her eyes are. Except when we do.
Yeah.
They moved across the street when I was almost 8. They did everything together, and were pretty antisocial. What? Okay, well, okay, that counts, I guess. I mean, antisocial. They can be antisocial together, I guess. I remember fucking, hearing about the Columbine shooting, like the trench coat mafia. I was like, how are you guys alone? There are like 8 of you.
God damn it, George, be quiet.
I think I was their only friend. Rhonda's mother,
You bastard.
Rodan's mother, was a good friend of my mom's, and we would always play Candyland or something while our mothers talked. I never liked her much.
Then why would you list her under friend?
Well, there's always, if you have at least 5 friends, you always have at least one friend that you don't like hanging out with as much. But he's friends with someone else in the group, so you kind of tolerate him. I think I'm that for everyone in Blue Majora.
What are you talking about? For me in Blue Majora, that's like fucking Ian.
What?
He's almost never there. So I have to put up with him.
So he's basically like in that position by default, since you don't know enough about him to determine whether or not he wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Jonathan was my best. If anything, that means you should have a clean track record. He hasn't done anything to piss me off today. But you motherfuckers, every single goddamn day. Ian's my best friend on the basis of him not being there for me. Jonathan was my best friend. We were inseparable, and we loved to play pirates. Ooh.
Arg.
You are a pirate.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
I hate that those songs have become memes now because I liked Lazy Town before it was cool, you fucking posers.
That came from Lazy Town?
Yes. Robbie Robin, he was the best villain on that. Well, he was the only villain, but he was a really funny villain. He was like a.
I'll admit, I'm kind of surprised to hear that came from Lazy Town.
All my friends and I have one thing in common. We love to play in the snow. Snowball fights, tobogganing? What?
Tobogganing.
Tobogganing.
It's essentially sledding.
Now I think about it, I've heard toboggan before, so years ago, but I can't remember when.
I think tobogganing is basically like multiple person sledding.
You name it, we loved it. But one gloomy afternoon when I was 12 years old, all that changed. My friends and I were going to have a snowball
Your
fight.
life is no longer normal. Oh no.
We would all meet up at this stick we would put on the ground called Snowman Corner. Count to 3, then run away, and then throw snowballs at each other until we got tired. I hated that as a kid, by the way. Snowball fights, because we didn't throw snow. When you live in a fucking city, they don't throw snow at you, they throw ice.
Well, I mean, I've never really stayed too long in snow, so I wouldn't know. So you have to talk to me about how snowball fights work.
I got sick many times.
That's fun.
About 10 a.m. on a Sunday afternoon, we met up at Snowman Corner. Rodan yelled, "Roar!" because she's Godzilla's friend. That's the joke.
God damn it, George, you spilled the water again.
1, 2, 3, and we ran like hell. I ducked behind a tree and started to make snowballs when I was ambushed by Sam and Quincy. Sam giggled and Quincy ran away. I knelt Sam and she whitewashed me until I said, "Uncle, oh God."
Oh, damn. Sam is not fucking around.
You're gonna be I'm gonna cast you into a Asian role, white man.
You're going to be Fu Manchu and you will like it!
No, it's discriminatory. You think I give a fuck? My granddaddy was Mickey Rooney. So
I know John Wayne! And I watched him play Genghis Khan every day until he died!
Put on these glasses and these fake buck teeth right now, mister. Also, joke about Ghost in the Shell movie, even though I didn't give a shit because she actually looked the part. She dashed off, and I stood up to find another place to hide. From what I could hear, everyone was in one place and having a ton of fun. I was about to go join them when I realized I had no snowballs. Well,
oh no, no snowballs.
Look
Truly,
down.
you are not a snowman anymore.
look down. I'm just envisioning the whole scenario taking place like... You ever seen that Dexter's Laboratory episode about snowball fights?
Vaguely.
Yeah, his dad was like a king of snowball fighting.
Oh yeah, that, and that until one day some mystery snowball fighter beat him, and it was the mother.
Yeah, there was one scene in particular, like, I'm out of snowballs, and he does what Dexter's dad did, like breathe out of his mouth and create a snowball out of thin air for somehow.
Oh man, it must be cold as fuck wherever the hell they live in order to do that.
I cursed under my breath at Quincy and Sam for making me waste them all. Then I walked around and found a wooden fence. I looked over and saw an old abandoned cabin. Old abandoned cannon. That would have been a really short story.
Old abandoned cannon. Yes, this is the perfect weapon for me to kill everyone with snowballs.
I'm not gonna kill. Okay, like, oh, you know how kids stuff rocks into snowballs? I'm gonna put a cannonball in mine. Yes, I whispered, hopping the fence. I sat there making snowballs for a while, listening to the occasional shriek, giggle, or thud. Thud?
Thud?
I was just...
Holy hell, did someone get knocked out?
So I guess... I don't know, when I say timeout, I mean it!
We went from snowball fighting to straight up fist fights.
Well, that's usually how they end up. Well, at least for me, as a kid. When it was comforting. If my friends beating the shit out of each other is comforting, because they ain't beating the shit out of me for once. I was making my last snowball when everything went silent. I didn't hear the sounds get quieter or decrease in number. Everything just got quiet. You mean, I don't know, like, so the wording here always kind of catches me off guard. Like, I don't know, like, have it's, like, it wasn't a gradual decrease in noise or anything like that. Everything just, is like all sound immediately stopped. Or something like that.
All of a sudden, I had one of those Saving Private Ryan moments.
Or, like, I don't know, when I think about that, I'm thinking about dead silence whenever, like, the villain of the movie shows up, like, all sound, like, cuts out. Like, you'll see the tea kettle boiling, and, like, it's whistling, but when the villain shows up, it's the sound, like, cuts out, even though the tea kettle's still on.
That's kind of a silly cliche.
Yeah. I assumed everyone had left without me, and I was about to call out when I heard a loud scream. I breathed a sigh. I breathed a sigh of relief. It was Rodan. I must have stopped just to reload. To reload? This ain't the South Park first-person shooter game, dude.
Oh man, we gotta refill our snow guns with snow bullets, but I'm out of snow ammo.
Quick, piss on it to add special ammunition. But then
But my fist is frozen.
But then, I heard Quincy. It was a scream of obvious agony, not surprise or pain. Shortly after, I heard Sam's loud sobs and an ear-piercing scream. Evie screamed, "No! No!" I was so scared. What was going on? Jonathan's scream was the worst of all.
It was the worst because it wasn't a scream at all.
Oh, that's John's warble. I swear I could hear my heart shatter. I cried for what felt like hours. Then it dawned on me I needed to get out. You don't know what's going on.
What the fuck just happened? Why are you leaving?
Why are you crying? Like, I don't know, like...
Did they just decide to play a prank on you? Did some crazy guy just come up there and stab everyone? What happened?
I mean, I guess it would make sense if he's frightened, if he hears what sounds like monstrous sounds, and he can hear his friends calling out to him, and asking for help, and he's so afraid that he won't get out, and he's crying because he feels guilty and he's scared. In that context, I get why he would suddenly just start crying. Right here, he hears his friends screaming, doesn't know the context, and like,
Maybe he just doesn't like negativity. I don't know.
I perked so basically he's like a fucking soccer mom from the 90s. Or nowadays an SJW.
Something doesn't go your way, cry like a little bitch until it does.
I peeked over the fence and saw nothing. I hopped over and started to run. About 5 minutes, I was in a large field near a playground that Jonathan and I loved to play at. I held back tears and continued to run.
Okay.
Or at least I tried to. I stopped dead in my tracks when I felt a frail hand on my shoulder. I spun on my heels to face a beautiful girl about my age.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an old lady that had fallen and couldn't get up. Yes, I am making these old-ass jokes. What about it?
If you people never want me to have him on this channel again, like and subscribe.
Fuck you.
She was obviously French and had a soft face with pale blue eyes.
Fuck, how did you know that?
I can see.
Know she was French. You can't tell when people are French by just looking at them.
I can by their hideous teeth and if the women have mustache and smell like piss. But Tish had a soft face with pale blue eyes and dark hair. I was relieved until I noticed that she was only wearing a thin white nightgown. Cliches. I staggered back in amazement at the fact that she was also barefoot. You staggered back. Holy shit!
You're amazed that she can walk around in the cold and somehow not get cold? How is that amazing?
Big mistake. I toppled over and she kneeled down to me. She was sickly, skeletally thin, skeletally, skeletally,
Yes, skeletally. But I don't even know if that's a word.
thin and frail. Her nightgown was covered in dirt, food, and what looked like blood. That's when I
Okay,
noticed that there
so
were.
she was dirty, she puked on herself, and someone stabbed her for it.
Well, that's what I would do.
Sucks.
That's when I noticed about 50 people starting to encircle me. The girl stroked my face and smiled.
Oh no,
Shh,
mild.
just go to Kip.
God damn it.
We're the race of underground Jeff the Killer clones. There can only be one! She just pulls out a sword and lops his head off.
Oh man, Connor McLeod would be so proud.
I'm helping you, remember that. I frantically look at the people and I saw a pair of sparkling green eyes. Evie, no! I don't want you to evolve. I wanted an Umbreon. It's daytime.
No, I hate Leafeon. Why are you evolving into that?
Oh, come on. Yeah, just because I'm near the shiny stone doesn't mean I want a Leafeon. I already have a Magnanium. That Pokemon sucks. No, it doesn't!
Oh my god, she's evolving into a Flareon. No, they suck even more.
Oh, God. Why is all of its emphasis on its physical attack? There are rarely any moves that... Wow, fight. This joke has run itself into the ground.
Yes.
I began to see my other friends in the crowd staring at me. I broke for... I don't know, this is just reminding me of of fucking The Showers. That story that Dennis, who doesn't know, Udo Hotlum recommended to me. And I read for the channel, I read for his birthday, and it was much better than this. And, like, this image of this people, like, circling this guy is reminding me of that, and how I could be reading that story instead. If you
Every
haven't...
story on the Creepypasta Wiki should be reminding you that there are better stories than this.
I don't know, like, I don't begrudge people their, because, you know, I don't know if this was this guy's first instance, and, you know, everyone can improve, but,
Well, I mean, it did say he reposted it.
I don't know, like, it takes, horror is like sex. People pretty much said this analogy before. You don't want to blow your load too soon. It's like intricacies that you need to pay attention to, and right now, this is just... like, oh, a scary little girl who killed my friends who I didn't give the reader a chance to connect with. But you should be upset about it.
Yes.
I broke down. I broke from the girl's grasp and tried to run, but she pinned me down and screamed, "I'm helping you! I don't need an insurance payment. I'm a kid." I threw her off me and pushed the little girl out I pushed over a little girl to get out of the circle. I ran.
Funny thing is, she wasn't one of the 50 people. She was just there.
She was just like, "Hey, what's going on over here?"
Fuck you!
"Hey guys, I'm lost. Can you tell me where the highway is?" Psh.
It's in the direction I'm gonna push you in!
And while she's just face down in the snow, "Thank you." When I got home, I had a nervous breakdown and told my mother what happened. She immediately grabbed the phone and asked Rodan's mother if she had come home. She hadn't. Neither had Quincy, or Sam, or Evie, or Jonathan.
Complete sentences, each of those.
My mother told all of them to come over, and when they... Shut up, Dropbox. And when they showed up, she told me to go play upstairs. What?
Wait, who came over?
Wait, she's calling their parents?
I don't know, are the kids coming over? No, that can't be because they're dead, supposedly.
I remember seeing a police car speed off into the woods. Now that I'm older, I decided to dig more into the case. I went into the police station and asked if I could see the file. They said yes. well, whatever.
No, you can't. You're not a cop. Nor a detective. Can't see anything.
I see this is apparently taking influence from fucking 1999, where police are like, oh,
Motherfucker.
here's the information, civilian.
Yeah, you're given way too much freedom for being nobody involved in the law enforcement.
I reread my story and decided it was good enough to put on the wiki. When I looked at the other details in the case, my stomach then looked at the other details of the case. My stomach did a 360-degree turn, no scope, bitch.
It did a 360 nollie off the fucking high ramp.
It said that the officers found the cabin, broke down the door, and found my friends, horribly mutilated and propped up at the table with mugs of hot chocolate sitting in front of them.
And you were right there, and you didn't know this was happening.
And even worse,
You were
the worst
making snowballs right there.
the worst part of it all is the hot chocolate. It was store brand.
Oh my god,
That's
no!
the true horror of
It
this.
isn't Swiss Miss.
It isn't even Nestle's. Pour the packet in the. No, I don't want it to be a hot water. I prefer warm milk in the packet. Come on. Well, not everyone isn't lactose intolerant. Some of the psychotic skinny people in our group are lactose intolerant, so we gotta pay them into consideration. Yeah, but they're the minority. Why don't you just have one pack for them that's specific to their needs? Look, we're the horribly mutilated monster guys, alright? We'll determine who gets hot chocolate and who doesn't. They found over. They found. Okay, wait. They took the hot chocolate and mugs for forensics?
What the hell are you going to find?
This was a. No, there's not forensic. There's just a really fat sheriff that, like, yeah, well, I'll take. Oh, that smells good. Oh, I'll take these off for forensic or something.
Man, I sure am thirsty. I haven't had a drink since I downed the entire KFC stock.
I found. Wait, you don't drink KFC. Not the way I eat it. I put it in the blender and, like, drink it all up. Bones and all.
Even the raw stuff I put in there.
I need to go bone up so I can visit my cousin, Fat Doctor. Or Doctor. Oh, what was it? Dr. Raven Cuckoo Esquire. That's his canonical name. They found over 50 bodies in the closet. Well,
Man, whoever was in that cabin also really loved Tetris.
I was about to make that exact same joke.
They just never found that one piece. They never found the straight line to make them all disappear.
It never comes when you want it to.
You just make this huge stack of things off to the side, and when it finally comes, it's way too high to fit in there.
No, we've advanced too far into the level. It's like you're basically micromanaging how fast they come down. Like, they come down almost at the blink of an eye at this point. But good news, we have enough so the space shuttle ending will show up. Also horribly mutilated. They said that they showed the pictures of the victims were they said that they showed pictures of the victims taken before they were murdered to me, and I remember. What?
How do you know these people?
I don't understand.
You know this? Do you know this torn up corpse? Yes, I do. He was my third grade teacher. How the fuck do you know that? He's eviscerated by what appears to be a rabid bear.
I'm gonna try to read this sentence again because I'm kind of stuck. They said that they showed the pictures of the victims taken before they were murdered to me.
Oh, before they were murdered. How the fuck did you get those?
Yeah, why do you have those? Why did you show them to this kid? I told them they were with...
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck are these people? How am I supposed to know?
They asked if I knew their names, and I didn't. I told them...
Yeah, no shit!
They told them that they were with the girl. I remember them giving my mother a look and saying I could go. Then they gave me a lollipop.
How old are you now?
I ran off.
You said you were 12 before. How old are you now and you got a lollipop?
No, right here. I ran off in glee. I I have a confectionery after my friends were brutally murdered.
Oh, I'm sorry, little Timmy. I know I killed all your friends and your loved ones, but here's a lollipop. Yay!
But the file said, by the way, this is like years later after the fact, so I like to imagine that we've gone back. He said, like, oh, I went back and saw the police reports and shit. And I understand this is back when he was a kid, but I like to think we cut back to the present day, which, like, he's 20 years old. After he asks for this information, he sees it. They give him a lollipop to kind of go like, oh, happy, glorious day, Kalukale. The file said that the people have been dead for a long time, the longest being 2 years.
Oh
But
my god, that is such a long time. They're old.
what was even more disturbing, well, if you say so, was the fact that most of these people were from places miles and miles away from where the cabin was. The thing that disturbs me the most to this day is the fact that after they took the hot chocolate on the initial sweep, they came back to collect the bodies and found that there were 5 new mugs on the table, all filled with steaming hot chocolate. Well, that's just good service.
Oh, hi, cops. Have some hot chocolate.
Oh my god, someone did a reading of this story?
Really?
Yeah, someone posted
Oh,
it apparently. Oh, by professional. But that was posted by professional narrator. We'll see.
27 days ago.
Eh. It was good. 8 out of 10. It was good. 8 out of 10. So, what exactly killed the Kens? Who left the hot chocolate behind? I enjoyed the read, but you definitely could have drawn this out a bit more. This definitely had a chill to it with the replacement of the hot chocolate. I don't know. Like I understand it's supposed to be the stinger of the story, but it didn't connect with me.
No, I don't get it either.
I don't know.
The
Like
only
if,
part I didn't like was the cliches. Having a 99 to 100% normal life until X happens is way overused. Along with the girl, not Evie, acting all happy-go-lucky and slightly insane. Take that out and 9 out of 10.
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know how highly I would rate this. Well, I need a new pair of underwear and a new chair. Really?
You shat yourself over this?
I don't know. Like, if it were something where these kids were, I don't know, they found a cabin in the woods when they were out playing, and they decided to like look around there, and they found like someone had left like things of hot chocolate. Like, I don't know, maybe have some kind of story where the hot chocolate is meant like a. The idea is that it's meant to show that someone is there with them, and I don't know, maybe it's like some kind of weird being who may not even be that malevolent in his intentions, but is going to end up hurting these kids if they stick around. And the hot chocolate is kind of trying to get them to stay. And when he
I'd like
leaves,
to imagine that the hot chocolate is somehow laced with something.
yeah, something like
If
that.
it's
Yeah,
if it was like a more realistic story laced with some sort of
like a cyanide or some shit.
cyanide for people he doesn't like, or
Well,
fucking
like that's I'm trying to work within
like
what.
some guy's forming a cold and
Yeah,
the hot chocolate is like the blue Kool-Aid.
yeah. But I'm trying to work within what, like that stinger at the end. I'm trying to work with what makes that work. Um, like you could have some kind of ambiguous element to it, to whether or not it's one person that's doing this, or it's like some kind of malevolent entity. Like that kid who runs away and like starts crying. Like maybe have it so that he's the only one that wants to leave the cabin. His friends want to stay behind to drink the hot chocolate. He leaves us behind. He finds out his friends didn't come back home. He tells his mom about it. They investigate. They find the hot chocolate still there, but the bodies aren't. Uh, and they take it for forensics. They find that there seems to be nothing wrong with it at first, or maybe they say find what you said. Like maybe there's actually something in it that is laced with something. Like it might not even be a poison per se, but maybe it's a muscle relaxer, something to knock the kids out.
Yeah.
And then when they go back, the hot chocolate's there again. Like you can have that kind of stinger, or hot chocolate with a note, or something saying "Thank you for so and so." It's This doesn't work specifically because, like, yeah, the story's supposed like, oh, it's hot chocolate, then that's supposed to be the, I don't know, like the stinger doesn't work mainly because you've introduced an element that kind of outwardly explains what it was that essentially set this up. Like I understand like with that girl saying that, oh, I'm trying to help you. Like that's her. That's the author trying to leave it be somewhat ambiguous as to what was exactly happening. But it doesn't matter because you've introduced a supernatural type element to the story, and that's significantly more. Uh, it, I wouldn't say effective, but
Interesting.
no the stinger in comparison to the what you introduced prior to this is much more mundane in comparison. Like, oh, there was hot chocolate on there after we came back. Well, anyone could have done that.
The parents, maybe.
Like, look back up. Did you not forget that you introduced like ghost school people that were surrounding these people? And you, I don't know. Like, what did you think?
Really, a lot of things are missing to make it a good story. And he puts a lot of emphasis on shit that doesn't even matter. Like, here are these characters. I'm gonna kill them off in the next paragraph.
Well,
You know?
that is a trope. It's called developing doomed characters, and I actually do like it when horror stories actually do that. But at the
I
same
know,
time, it
but
doesn't.
you know how, like, Dragon Age, you know how
I
they
have
give you
never
the
played
option
Dragon
to
Age. You
talk to
gotta.
your party members in
Um,
order to find out more about them?
no, I
Like,
have
why
never.
don't
I've
you
never
have
played.
that going on during the meat and bones of the story? Like, find out more about them while shit's going down, you know?
I understand what you're saying, and that's the point I was gonna make at some point. Like, the problem isn't the fact that it's putting emphasis on the characters themselves. I think the problem is the fact that it doesn't really give us a chance to really know them. I mean, if it's like to where it doesn't really matter what happens to them because the emphasis is more on the the event that took place itself rather than the characters, then there's no problem being vague about who they were. Like you were a kid at the time, like maybe have it explained away by I was young at the time. I have a very vague memory of this, and I don't know, like have some of the horrific elements happen around the narrator to where he's recalling what happened, and then the reader puts two and two together and realizes that something horrific was happening that the narrator didn't notice at the time. Because I like that. I like that type of horror where, and I would describe it in this way: like there are two types of horror that work and don't work in my eyes. One is where you have the audience say, "Where did you come from?" You know, jump scares and shit like that. The other
I
is,
mean, that's good for startling them,
yeah,
but not exactly scaring them.
the other is how long has that been there? Meaning, it's like whenever you see something behind you and your mind puts two and two together like wait, that's followed me every single room I've been here, I've seen this every single room, and then it slowly dawns on you that whatever I'm talking, so and so has been following you throughout the entirety of what you've been doing, and it like sends a chill up your spine knowing that your life could have been compromised at any single moment, but it wasn't. And it could have
Yeah.
worked here, like have it so that we as the audience are slowly piecing together what's happening as this kid's describing it, and he is none the wiser to the disturbing events that are taking place in front of him. And you also got to make the narrator like relatable to the point where we understand why he wouldn't notice it, and we are afraid for his safety for because he doesn't notice it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going on here, but long story short, this story is not very good.
No.
I
Could have
might,
been okay at best, but
I would.
for what it is, it's just. Ugh.
It's a lot of it's a muddle. It's kind of muddied when it comes to this. Like I don't really know what else to say about it. So, I think those are our closing thoughts. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, and rate. All that good shit. And stay tuned for more. I'll try to have more of these on. And if you like M.D Phantasm, then I'll try to have him on. If you don't like M.D Phantasm, then rate, comment, subscribe. If you like
Yeah,
him,
don't even say anything about me. Just say, good video, Naji.
just pretend like I'm not here. I'll make a video where I edit out the entire his contribution entirely, and it'll just be me talking to myself. If that makes you people happy.
Yes, Naji will go insane for you if you like him more than me.
Well, I won't go insane. I think vehicular homicide is a justified reaction in that instance. So, bye everyone.
Later.